Hello everybody and welcome to this Desert Drifter Halloween makeup tutorial. So we're going to start this out with a little bit of primer, and I'm just pointing out a huge pimple per usual, and I'm just going to start by applying that as my base because we are going to be using a lot of Halloween products like this one, which is liquid latex. I'm using this to create some scratches on my face. When I think of it like a Desert Drifter, I think of a Nomad or a Bedouin. I actually got this idea from a dream that I had years ago, which is crazy. I remember being like this nomad girl with some crazy white-out eyes, and I was flying on a magic carpet in the middle of the desert. It was crazy, and I don't remember all the details, but that was where I got this idea. I just thought it would be so cool to recreate literally from my mind, from my subconscious. I just love the whole idea of it. So I'm just taking some tissues and I'm placing like little strips of that tissue on the pieces of the latex. This is going to create that 3D effect and make the scratches look real. I wanted the scratches there because I just imagine being out in the elements and rocks and sandstorms and getting scratches. I don't know. It's weird, but I just felt like doing it. And now I'm applying some foundation clearly darker than my natural skin tone. I really want the skin to look weathered and darker and tanner than it naturally is, so that's why I'm applying a darker foundation, and this particular foundation makes my skin look a little bit more textured than others, so that's why I use this one. Now I'm going to be applying the blood on the scratches, taking this blood gel by Cinema Secrets. You can find something similar to it at like Spirit or just any Halloween store, but I did get this one online and I'll link it down below if you're interested. But I'm just going to be applying that where I applied the latex to make it look bloody, and this thick blood really brings it together because it makes it look a little bit more coagulated, like it's been sitting there for a while. And oh my god, I love the effect. When you see me nodding my head, that means things are working out for me at that point. And now I'm just going to start contouring my face, taking the Shade and Light palette. I'm taking the darkest contour shade in that palette, and I'm just going to be applying that all over my forehead and like my cheekbones and other random areas of my face. You can really go all out with this, and it's gonna look right because you want it to look like she's been out there in the desert for a long period of time. And this is what happens when you're around dirt and sand and all that. So just go crazy with it, apply it everywhere you want, anywhere you want, and it's gonna look good. Now I'm just going to be defining that contour even more, and I'm taking this kind of a moldy green color from the BH120 palette, and that's just going to give it more dimension and make it look more realistic. And then I'm also going to go in with a couple colors from the Urban Decay Vice palette right here, taking Alchemy and the one right under it, Bondage. These are two purplish fuchsia colors. It's going to make how do I explain? It makes it look like super realistic in 3D because this is the color that bruised skin looks like and weathered skin. So it really like brought a lot of stuff together for me at that point. And I just wanted to take a dark gray shadow. This one is Defy from the same palette, and I'm just going to be applying that under my eyes just to create a more sunken in look, make it look like I haven't gotten any sleep, being up all night in the desert. Taking this shimmery brown color, I'm just going to use that to shade the scratches, and that's going to create, again, more dimension. It's going to make it look more realistic, and the shading is what really just makes everything look so much better. It's a crucial, essential step. Now for the brows, I'm taking this Chocolate Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a bit lighter than my natural eyebrow shade, and I'm doing this because she's been in the sun, the hair is going to be lighter and the skin is going to be darker, if that makes sense. Like, obviously the sun is going to make the hair, make it a little bit lighter, and it's going to make the skin darker. I just said that. But this is why I'm applying a lighter shade than my natural eyebrow shade, because I just want it to look that much more realistic. And then I'm going to go in with this brow gel that is for mainly blonde eyebrows, so I'm going to apply that to set it and make it look even lighter. And I just wanted to note that I overdrew my eyebrows to make them look a little bit more bushy. Now I'm just gonna set or prime my eyelids with this LA Girl Pro Concealer. Then I'm just going to use that as my base before I apply the shadows that I'm about to use. Now the effect that I wanted to go for with my shadow, I'm going to be doing a cut crease, but I wanted it to look, well, here's the Milani palette. I'm going to use this brown shade as the transition. This is the Earthy Elements palette. I wanted to create a cut crease, but I wanted it to look like my eyelids were kind of falling off of my eyes. You're going to see what I'm trying to explain, but I just wanted it to look like they were a little bit crusty, if you will. Make it look like my eyes were so tired and broken and just evil that they were falling off. So I'm going to be taking this palette that I got from the BOXYCHARM the month of September, I think. I forget the brand, I forget the name of it, but I will link it down below because it's an awesome palette. I'm taking the black shade from that palette to define the cut crease a little bit, and I'm just blending it out. And then I'm just going to be defining the cut crease even more using the concealer trick. If you just carve out underneath the cut crease, then it's going to make it look that much more sharper. And then I'm taking this taupe shade. It's pretty consistent with my natural skin tone, so I just applied that underneath as my lid shade just to make it look as natural and as realistic as possible. Now, I just applied one contact in before I go in with the eyeliner because you guys don't know how annoying it was to put in these contacts, and you can't even see out of them, but they just look so cool. So I'm just applying this black eyeliner by Hikari. It's really, really awesome, and it smudges out perfectly. I'm going to be applying it pretty thick on the upper and lower lash line because that is how, like, nomads and Bedouin women wear their eyeliner. It's very thick, very smoky, very ashy, and I just love how it came out. So I'm just going to be smoking that out as much as I can. Now for the veins, I'm just taking this dark brown color from that palette that we just used, and I'm going to be drawing those squiggly lines underneath my eyes. That's just going to make it look more tired, more exhausted, I guess, and it's just going to look, it's going to age her, which is what I want, and it's just going to make the look come together. So I'm just going to be applying my veins, taking squiggly lines and putting squiggly lines on those, protruding from each other, and it's just gonna look so cool once it all comes together, you guys. I swear, I know I keep saying that, but I was so happy with how it came out. Now I'm gonna be priming my eyelashes and then applying my L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. This is just to put on mascara. I was going to put on lashes, but I just was not feeling it after having those contacts on. Now for the hair. I'm taking this blonde hairspray by Graftobin, but it's not really blonde. As you can see, it looks gray, but I was so happy with it, actually. It just makes it look that much more consistent with the look that I was going for. The blonde would have looked a little bit too so the gray actually turned out perfect. It ages her once again, which is what I wanted. Now for the dirt. I'm taking these two different dirts by Mayron, and that's just gonna add even more oomph to the look. You want it to look real. You want it to look like she's really been out there in the desert, in the sandstorm, and with dirt all over her. And this really adds that extra touch if you really want to go that extra mile. So I loved the dirt, and it really actually stayed on the skin pretty well. It didn't transfer that badly to anything else. So I'll leave it linked down below. And now for the lips, I'm just going to be applying Strip Down by MAC, the lip pencil. This is just to darken my lips up a little bit. I didn't want to do too much because they don't really wear lipstick, the Bedouins or the Nomads. So I just wanted it to look a little bit darker than my natural skin tone, just to stay consistent. And I did apply some of that Defy dark gray shadow from the Vice palette just to make it look more dirty. Now I'm applying this nose earring chain just to add a little bit of extra touch, make it look really realistic, and that about does it for this look. Oh, and I added a shawl and some rings by Tribal Vault. I love these. Those contacts you can find by Spooky Eyes, just FYI. They're really, really awesome for these types of looks. You just cannot wear them on a real Halloween outing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.